Hello everybody, welcome back to Sunday Night Live with me, Jonny Lipsham, here at jonnylipshamstudios.co.uk. I apologise that I've not been around for a wee while. I am struggling with some health conditions at the moment that are a little bit troubling, and so that's kind of why I've not really been about that much. So I apologise, but I'm here and I'm back. However, just for today. I am off on vacation for all of next week, so there will be no Songwriting Simplified on Wednesday. But I will be back on Sunday for Sunday Night Live once again when I get back. That's the plan, at least. Anyway, health conditions kind of, we'll take that as it comes, to be honest. But that is the plan. I am planning to be back here for Sunday Night Live next Sunday. So tonight is just going to be a Q&A, so it's basically up to you guys to provide some questions and some talking points, and we'll get the show underway. And then when we get back next Sunday, we will look at some other cool, fun stuff in Studio One. It's going to be very, very cool. But yeah, as I say, no Songwriting Simplified on Wednesday, but we will be back to normal after that. So the following Wednesday, we'll be back to normal with Songwriting Simplified. But other than that, that's kind of what is going down here. I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody has had a good time of late, and that you are busy making music and having fun doing that. Normally, I would say, hey, I hope you have that you've had a good few days, but it's been more like a good couple of weeks, really. So I hope everybody is doing all right. We've got a reasonable crowd in here already. We've got 13 people. I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to come in because, I've been off for a little while. And so, some people will have found other things to do. And also, you guys have got Independence Day coming up in the United States. So, yeah, I imagine that a lot of you are going to be kind of out and about at family and that kind of thing. So this may well be a foreshortened show, and that's okay. I don't mind that. But normal service will be resumed next week for sure. So we are going up to, we're actually going to the northwest of Scotland into the county of Ayrshire, and we're going to a holiday park that I've never been to before. It's a Haven holiday park. I've been to a few Havens because I've played gigs at a few. And I suspect that this one's not going to be very much different to the ones that I've been to before. So we'll see. We'll see what it's like. But it should be good. I'm looking forward to being away and being out of this room and just spending time with my wife and my kids and having some fun together as a family. So that's going to be good. And hopefully my health will hold up and will not interrupt our week. That's what I would like to happen. So we will see. But yeah, it's been entertaining to say the least, the last couple of weeks with my health. It's not been that good. It's very, very frustrating. I'm not going to go into all the details because really you don't need to know the details, to be honest. But suffice to say, it's not much fun and not really enjoying it at the moment. But hopefully when we get back, I'll be able to get to the doctors and get more to the bottom of what's going on and why it's happening and treatment and that kind of thing. So, and then I'll have a little bit more information to be able to give you. But I kind of like to try and keep my shows as impersonal as possible, and just keep them focused on making music in Studio One and songwriting and that kind of thing. That's what I try to focus my channel on. But those kind of things are important and need to be talked about. So because they may ultimately affect what I do. So hopefully not, but we'll see going forward. All right, let's see who is here. And we're going to go up to the top. And Billy Morgan was first in at in UK time 9:37. Wow, that's early. Followed by Chris Manrakna is here. He says he's first, but he wasn't quite. You were 3 minutes behind Billy, but that's okay. And we've got John Hawke here, we've got Kevin, we've got Just Bob, and we've got Mike Johnson, and we've got Rich from Studio One Tuts, and we've got Keith from Radio Tuck Trumpet, and we've got Kyle Traduziak, and we've got Dave from Bops NY, and we've got Bobby Booth here. Bobby Booth has been around since pretty much I started doing these, and we are heading towards show number 300. Can you believe it? We're getting very close, and I think maybe a party is in order once we get to that point, but we're very close to it. Let's see, and Daryl Harrison is here. Hello, Daryl. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. If you have a question for me, and this goes for everybody actually, but especially you, Daryl, if you have a question for me about Studio One, then please do put it in the chat right now. The first thing you need to do is type at Jonny Lipsham Studios, and what that does is that turns my name in red in the chat so that I can see it much better and separate it out from the chat. I'm happy for you guys to talk amongst yourselves because this is a community, and I love the fact that we have this community, and I want you guys to get to know each other and talk amongst yourselves. That's great. But if you have a question, please do type the at Jonny Lipsham Studios first. That way I can separate it out from the chat. That would just make it easier for me. I know it reduces the 200 characters that you get down to a wee bit more, but if you need to kind of make a follow-up post, then please do make the follow-up post and take as many kind of posts as you need to get your question. And I'll try and join them all together as much as I can. Who else do we have here? Bobby Booth is saying here, he says, in 2 days I'll be officially retired and will be turning 65. Bobby, congratulations on your well-earned and well-deserved retirement coming up in a couple of days. If you're going to take it, I know that you've reached the age. Yeah, if you take it, that would be wonderful. But a very happy birthday to you, Bobby. And seeing as I'm not going to be here for your birthday, and there isn't going to be a Songwriting Simplified for your birthday, I think it's only right that we do this. And we'll leave it at that. But yes, a very happy birthday to you. And I did put in the flat 9 there because, hey, you know, it's another year, it's another trip around the sun, and for some people that's a little melancholic. For others, it's something to really, really be joy-filled about, and I hope that that's the case for you. So let's see, what else do we have here? That's pretty much it. Ron Figura is here, and Paul Morgan is here as well. So, in lieu of questions, because we don't really have any questions as yet, there is something I'm going to show you, and actually I got to thank my friend, my dear friend, Jonny Guy, for this one, actually, because he kind of inspired me with this. He did a video yesterday and today where he looked at, using the music loops, which are kind of MIDI loops that you get inside of Studio One and also with Persona Sphere. And then today he did a similar thing, but this time looking at the audio loops, which are different to the music loops. Music loops are all to do with MIDI and virtual instruments. Audio loops are more to do with, as it says, audio. So they are wave files and that kind of thing. Using those to build a song. And so I've kind of been doing that just before the show. And that's why I was maybe a little bit late, because I was having way too much fun. So I will show you what I've got and how I've got it, and then we will add some stuff to it, and we'll just see what we can do with this. Just using loops and make something fun and funky out of it. All right, so let's go over to that song. I'm going to open that up, and I'll let you guys see it. Here we go, and we'll get the camera on. There we go. All right, so I just started building this out of construction kits and that kind of thing. So I got most of these from MVP Loops Harlem, which comes with Persona Sphere. And I just opened, I think I opened the D minor folder here and click on audio loops, making sure you guys can see that. And then there's a demo of the full mix here. So what I did was I sped this up a little bit. I'm actually going to drop the tempo just a little bit, actually. And this is what I came up with. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I got and how I got it in this particular case. So, in this particular case, the drums and the bass and the guitars have come from that particular loop in MVP Loops Harlem 72, which I really liked. But then I added this guy here. Which comes from Thunder Roads, which is another sound set that you get from Presonisphere if you're a member. If you're not a member of Presonisphere, don't worry, you can get these from the shop. So if you go to shop.presonus.com and look up some loops there, you can actually just buy these and download them. It's pretty straightforward. But if you're a member of Presonisphere, you have these in your account. You can just go and grab them and download them, and then just drag and drop the installer to the start page of Studio One, and it'll install itself in the correct location, and you'll find everything that you need for that particular loop library or whatever it might be. So I basically got this Fender Rhodes loop, which was not in the correct key. It was in B flat minor, whereas everything else is in D minor. And so I used right click and transpose to transpose it up 4 semitones to get it into D minor. And then I liked what it did. I chopped it in half, and then I just simply duplicated it across the whole range. And yeah, it's a little fast. We can drop the tempo. I mean, we can drop it right down to the tempo that the original song was at if we want to. That's easy enough to do. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to find something that we can add to this. So let's think about what we have here. Let's close that up. Let's have a look in funk. There's only funk drums by the look of it. Yeah, there's just drums in here. Let's see. Let's sort by instrument. I wonder if we have like any horn things going on. So let's go for let's take a listen to this one. This one might work. Yeah, that's going to work. Let's bring that in. But let's maybe move that so it's on that one, and then we will duplicate that and put that one on there. All right, let's see if we can find something saxophone. That might work. Fairly classic kind of baritone sax thing. That's incredibly loud. It's about. Oh, I didn't want to edit with Melodyne. I wanted to bounce. There we go. And we'll duplicate that as well. All right, let's see if we can find some other sax things. Okay, that's an impulse response. Yeah, maybe not. Now we can put this in, but we'd need to transpose this one. So let's maybe go, and this is in C, so we would need to put this up by 2. All right, let's see, what else can we add to this? Okay, those are drums. Okay, that sounds to me like it's in G minor or G blues. So we could put this in, but we would need to transpose this. So maybe let's have that start here. And then we'll transpose this as well. So this is going to be in G, so it needs to go up quite a bit. G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D. Okay, so that should be in the right key now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut there, and I'm going to cut there, and I want to cut between the gap here. So I'll get rid of that, and I'll do one more cut here. I'll get rid of that one. And then, yeah, I think that's good. All right, so we've kind of got somewhere. Tony says, just bring it into Melodyne, it will show you the notes, but your area is good. Yes, yeah, you could absolutely legitimately just edit it with Melodyne. It will show you the pitches, especially if they are monophonic things like saxophones and trumpets and guitars and that kind of thing. If it's a monophonic sound, you can, with Melodyne Essentials, you can certainly do that. And the cool thing is that when you bring it into Melodyne, it will show you all the pitches, and you'll be able to find what the key is. It will even detect what the key is for you, and you can go, oh, I need to shift these up this way. And there's like a keyboard reference as well, so you can go, oh, right, this is clearly in G. I can just move this up, and that is definitely one way to do it. But I do it by ear because I have pretty much dialed in perfect pitch, so I don't really need. Now in this case with this guitar thing, because of some of the notes it was playing, it could have been in B flat minor or it could have been in G, and I had to listen to where the reference note was, because there is a clear reference note in there to figure out what key it was actually in. Actually, let me just do some adjusting here. So that needs to be there. We can turn that up. But we can turn that down a little bit more. All right, so let's have a little listen to this. All right, so we've got a reasonable kind of a reasonable little thing going on here, and the cool thing is, you know, it's in D minor and it's like 8 bars long, So if we wanted to extend this out, we certainly could do that. So let's just put that in that way. And let's say we decided we wanted to just kind of go up a half step. So we could shift all of this up a half step. So first thing I want to do is I want to select all. And then I'm going to duplicate. And then what I want to do is I want to select all of these events here. So I'm going to range select all of these. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to go up one. And so what we should get now is we should get this going up to E flat minor and then back down to D minor. Yeah, it is getting a little bit messy, but it's okay. We're just kind of playing around with this. I haven't done any mixing or anything like that yet. Yeah, that kind of didn't work. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's Control Z all of that. Why did that not work? All of that should have just shifted up one half step. Anyway, you get the general idea. The general idea is you can build something very quickly and easily with a bunch of loops, audio loops, MIDI loops. MIDI loops, actually, I think Jonny said this in his video, they are easier in some respects to manipulate. Now what Jonny was doing was he was using the chord track. I didn't use the chord track to do any of this, but one thing you can do, and we'll create a new song to do this because I think this is a cool thing. So we'll do a new song here and we'll close all of that out. I can never remember how you make that all go away. There we go. So what you can do is if you find a loop, let's say something from this, although it's in D minor, let's all right, so let's say we like this synth pad here. All right, so let's bring this in. And we're going to drop the tempo down because this should be 80 BPM. There we go. And this time we will use the chord track. So I am going to open the chord track here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think it's in, there we go. Audio, detect chords. And then I'm going to drag and drop that up onto the chord track. Done. Ah, you're not seeing this, are you? There we go. All right, so all I did really, you didn't really miss anything. All I did was bring in this pad and then I did right click and then we go audio and we go detect chords. I clicked on that and then I basically just drag and drop that into the chord track and I now have all of my chords. So all right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to, Let's see. Is it in bars? Yeah, it is in bars. Okay, so I think at this point, I'm just trying to decide how long I want this to be. Okay, let's just take the first 4 bars of this thing. We'll get rid of everything else. And we'll do the same with the chord track. Delete all of those. All right, so we like that. Let's go find something from something like Heartsick here and see if we can find something that will complement that. Yeah, not that. Let's maybe try this. That's nice. That's got its own set of chord changes though. So it might cause an issue if we get it to follow the chord track. But we'll see. We'll see what it does. And what we'll do is we use the inspector here and follow chords, universal. That works pretty well. Oh, that worked lovely. That worked perfectly. Now, can we borrow this bass part as well, do we think? Yeah, maybe not from that one. Let's find another bass part, maybe from this one. Yeah, that might work. Just for fun. And then we'll do the same here. We'll go follow chords universal. Okay, that doesn't maybe sound quite so good, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to get rid of this. It sounds a little bit too warbly. So we'll remove that. We'll find something else. Let's try this. No, this is a little. Oh, those are a little bit lo-fi. I've just noticed. So may not work. we try the strings? Why not try the strings? Let's just see if this actually works. It may or may not work. Kind of works. Might actually bring in this bass. Just for funsies, see if it fits. No. No is the answer. Remove track. Okay, let's find another bass part. We're gonna have to find a bass from somewhere else. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this will have to do. And I think it is actually the bass part that goes with this. So all right. And that kick drum. There we go. So, as you can see, you can have hours and hours and hours of endless fun making loops and making tunes out of loops. And then, of course, if you decide, hey, you know what? D minor is a little bit dark. That's fine. We can go in here and we can change the chord. So I can go, you know what? This is D minor. Let's try D major instead. And then let's turn this one into, let's turn this one into A7. Why the heck not? I've just spotted a mistake in the chord track. There we go. And cool thing is you can go, you know what? I want this G chord to be minor. Just get a little bit kind of darkness going on. All right, let's take a look. There's some questions here. Who needs loops when you can play and improvise like that? Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Bobby says, I bring the last part of the cymbals forward about 3 more beats. The last part of the cymbal. Oh, this bit here? Well, if I bring it forward, then it's not going to join up particularly well. I mean, it doesn't actually join up particularly well with the front end of the swell. It's meant to loop, but it doesn't really. I don't know why it doesn't, but it doesn't particularly. So, yeah, I don't know what really we can do about that. I mean, we could, I suppose. Three more beats. Bring it, what was it? Forward 3 more beats. So basically you want it to end on beat 1? Is that what you're saying here? I mean, we can do that. No, that's not what I wanted to do. We can do that instead, but then it doesn't really join up. Yeah, doesn't really work. At least I don't think it really works. But yeah, so there's like a ton of things that you can do here. Bob was saying, can you reverse the swelled synth chord on a different track and have them follow the chords? Reverse the swelled. I suppose we could. Yeah, you're talking about this track up here, aren't you? Yeah, let's do a duplicate track complete here. And then you're saying reverse this one. Audio. Where's reverse? I'm trying to remember where it is. There it is. Reverse audio. But then what we want it to do is we want it to still follow the chords. Might not work. That kind of sounds weird. Alright, so there we go. We should do a show about risers, impacts, swooshes, and button endings. Yeah, but that's outside of my wheelhouse. I don't work in this style of music at all, as you can see, because I've been kind of fiddling around trying to make this all kind of come together, and it's not really my style of music. So I don't really know enough about it, and I'm not really sufficiently confident in this style of music to be able to do things like swooshes, risers, impacts, and that kind of thing, because I don't use them, I don't do them. It's not my style at all. That's not to say that I couldn't learn and work out how to do those kind of things, but I would be a complete raw beginner. I really wouldn't have anything that I could teach anybody in that respect. But it is a good question, and it's a good observation, and a good suggestion. Let's see. Mike Johnson says I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I really know what I'm doing, and sometimes I just don't, and I just kind of make things up as I go along. But if I revert these chords back to where they were, so if I put this back to D minor, and we'll put this one back to the G major. So it's actually a little bit more like its original thing. So I'm tempted here to just put in just a little bit of delicate piano. I don't want to like overfill it because there's actually quite a lot going on. There's lots of pads and things like that. And we've got a Fender Rhodes here. So I'm thinking about just doing like a few sparkles maybe. Because I like sparkles. And I'll just like put them in little places and then I'll maybe pan it somewhere. The wrong chord. Started off well. I forgot about that A7 though. Yeah, I don't want that as an A7. I want that as an A minor. There we go. Something like that, except I cut myself off. I can do better than that. I could do better than that. right, there you go, folks. This is what we have. I've just like put in a splash of reverb on a few tracks. And we've got the nice little piano. So we've come up with two very, very different songs using loops. We've got this one. And then we've got the one that we just did, the much more down-tempo one. Just channel your inner Kenny G. I like it. Don't tempt me to do pastiche Kenny G. I know we've kind of run over a bit, but you know what? Damn you, Keith. Keith, I'm doing this just for you and for you alone. So we're going to go winds. Is there a... Yes, there is soprano sax, of course. Let's see. Soprano sax full. We'll find one that's got like... Here we go. This has got plenty of vibrato, and we will crank up the reverb because that's a very Kenny G thing to do. That's maybe a little bit too much reverb. That's bizarre. Let's try. Do we need the reverb, do we think? The really is too much reverb. Vibrato. That was entirely for Keith. Anyway, that's it for tonight. We have run over a wee bit, but who cares? I certainly don't. I was having way too much fun. But there is an after show Zoom. If you would like to join us over there, Mike has provided the link to it. I think somewhere. I think I saw it. Yeah, it's up there somewhere. All right, folks. I will switch over to here now. Thank you everybody for coming. That was ridiculous amounts of fun. Very, very entertaining. and we made a show pretty much out of nothing because we didn't really have any questions, and that's okay. I don't mind. Thank you everybody for coming, and I will see you on next Sunday for Sunday Night Live, and just maybe we will like pick this particular down-tempo song up and we'll find something else to do with it maybe. Because it's fun. It was definitely fun. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save it. No, that's the funk one. I want this one. There we go. So let's go file. We'll rename so it's not saying like what it says at the moment. We'll call this Keith's down tempo groove. I'm naming this for you, Keith. Just because I can. Okay, that. And of course, once you've renamed a file, by the way, just so you know, it doesn't save the file. It just renames the file, the folder, and everything that's contained within them. That's all that does. You still need to hit save, otherwise it won't work. So now I'm going to go save, and everything is saved. So there we go. All right, folks. I will see you guys next. I'm actually going to use this as the playout music. I'm not going to use my normal modal blues thing. So we'll use this as the playout music, and I'll see you guys over on the Zoom chat. And otherwise, I'll see you on Sunday, next Sunday for Sunday Night Live. No show on Wednesday because I am on vacation, but Sunday Night Live will be back next Sunday, and I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I'll see you next week. Good night.